Yes, team, and welcome back to session 2 of Mindset Mastery 2.0. So my name is Lee Freeman, and today we are going to discuss mindset, and everything you're about to hear, trust me, comes from my own transformation, my own mindset, working with over 2,000 clients. And trust me, I understand you, I understand your needs, I understand where you're at, and I understand that you can absolutely achieve absolutely anything you want. Why? Because I am you. I've been diagnosed with ADHD, depression, anxiety, PTSD, and bipolar personality disorder. I've had the most checkered life that anyone could imagine. I've battled addiction, I've battled bereavement, and I've battled my entire life. But yet I'm here, I'm fighting, and I've now achieved my wildest dreams at 45 years old, and I'm living my best life. Coming from a man who at 33 years old swallowed 12 ecstasy tablets and wrote a suicide note. So, for a long time in both my body and my business, all I focused on was learning. I'm highly qualified. I've read so many books. There's not a lot about nutrition that I don't know. There's not a lot about training that I don't know. I'd like to think there's not a lot about psychology, biology, supplements, marketing, sales, team building, delivery, coaching, and everything else that I don't know. But the reality is, no matter how good a shape I got my body in, I still wasn't happy. No matter how much money I made, I still wasn't happy. For clarity, I've made millions and I've been bankrupt. I never could get past that level where I just became okay and I just became happy, because all I focused on was business, fitness and training, knowledge and information. Now, I didn't need more information. I needed more implementation. I needed to do it faster. I needed to get started now and get perfect later. But most of all, I needed to control my mind, because if you're not happy in your head, it doesn't matter how good your body is or how good your bottom line is, you will still be miserable. And I'm proof of that. So some people will spend their entire lives accumulating knowledge and qualifications. I call it qualificationitis. This is why there's 40-year-old men still studying their PhD and living like a student on 25 grand a year. Because they just think they're just going to keep collecting knowledge, and one day, all of a sudden, things will change. There's people who spend hours and thousands getting qualifications to work in industries that don't even require a qualification. Like I said, most things you need to learn, you can learn on YouTube these days. We are blessed with such a wealth of information. Anything you don't know, ask ChatGPT. So, but why isn't AI taking over my business? Why do I still have such a successful business? Why have I got over 2,000 clients that I've transformed? Why have we full with clients and we still have a huge waiting list? Doesn't make sense, right? Because you can get everything with AI. AI can write nutrition plans, training plans, business plans, strategies, meeting plans. But knowledge without taking action is a complete waste of time and money. And I've never met a person that's actually gone and got all that stuff off the internet and done all the work themselves and lived happily ever after. We need accountability, we need support, we need community, but also we need the mindset that goes alongside it, because knowledge without taking action is just a complete waste of time and money. It's like trying to drive a Ferrari with your foot on the brake. Doesn't no matter how good the Ferrari is and how knowledgeable it is and how fast it goes, if your foot's on the brake, it's not going anywhere. So knowledge isn't power. Implementation and strategy is, and that will always come from accountability, support and environment. So I've recently learned 2 things that I'm going to bring into the early stages of this course, and they were words that I hadn't even heard before. One of them's a new worldview and one of them's a new paradigm. So in life, in body, in business and in relationships, 2 things are important. There's the logic, okay? The diet plan, the training plan, the sales strategy, the marketing strategy, and everything in between. The knowledge that we need in order to implement, right? The plan. But then there's the mindset. There's understanding how your brain works, how you handle challenge, how you handle rejection, how you stay inspired, how you stay motivated, how you handle setbacks, failures and disappointments, how you crush self-doubt, how you build confidence and self-belief. Okay? You need to understand how your brain works, who you are and what you want. Because all your limiting beliefs about yourself are absolute fucking bullshit. And I promise you right now, I will not get through one of these videos without dropping at least one F-bomb, because I swear in real life. So I'm not going to not swear on these businesses. However, I don't swear in front of my little boy. So note moving forwards, these probably videos aren't to have on in the car when the kids are there. Now, everything you believe about yourself up until this point that isn't positive is false. And you very often tell yourself things, I can't, I'm afraid, to keep yourself safe. Because you are afraid of taking action and failing and how that might make you feel, which is that you're not enough, which is all of our biggest fear. And every single one of you is enough. You were born enough. You were born a miracle. So don't tell yourself lies to keep yourself safe. They're not true. There's no evidence. It's just the way you've been programmed by your parents, your teachers, and your past. Now, your current perception of yourself and what's achievable is a complete illusion. It's also your biggest obstacle that's standing in the way of you achieving your wildest dreams. I will not allow my son to ever utter the words I can't. When he says it, I correct him and we do the thing he thought he couldn't do. Okay? Now, mindset is not woo-woo stuff. It's not hippie. It's not Disneyland thinking. It's not just for people who have mental health issues and are depressed. As I said, the world's top athletes, even the world's top business coaches, have coaches that help them with their mindset. I still see a therapist once a week for my own brain, and she supervises what I do to make sure that my brain's okay, because I do a lot of one-to-one therapy work with high-level business owners, and I take on a lot of their problems, but I have to be able to take them on, solve them and let them go. Otherwise, they would affect my energy. So I have a mental performance coach. I have a therapist for certain areas of my life. All successful people do. It's not just for people that are struggling. It's also for people that want to get to the next level. Most billionaires have some form of coach, okay? Now, I used to think that I didn't need it too. That I'm okay, I'm all right, I'm motivated, I'm driven, I'm focused, masking all my insecurities. But I never went anywhere except 90 days forward with body and business before hitting burnout, hitting the goal, ending back at square one, or hitting the goal and still feeling miserable. Because fitness and nutrition wasn't enough, I needed mindset. Business, sales, marketing and strategy wasn't enough, I needed mindset. And if not, I would always end up back at square one. So the plan wasn't the problem. The work weight wasn't the problem. My mindset was. And when I began to study myself, when I began to look inside and realise that the external will always follow the internal, that if I've got chaos in my head, that I'll always have chaos in my life, when I stopped blaming anyone or anything, especially situation, circumstance, the past or other people for where I am, things really started to take off. The transformation was huge. And this is why my one-time company, Freeman Fitness, turned into Unbreakable. Fitness, nutrition and mindset, not just fitness and nutrition. We also then have the business and relationship coaching sections. So the fitness and the nutrition were pointless without the mindset. You could look like a Greek god, but if you're struggling up here, you're always going to be miserable. You could be making £1,000 a week, 2, 3, 4, £5,000 a week. If you're miserable, you're going to be miserable, irrelevant of how much money you make. So I've then observed this same thing in 2,000 plus clients, and the people who get the best results are the people that do a minimum of one of these videos every day. So please, for the love of God, for the next 52 weeks, commit to it. Unless you're more committed to your current life and your set of beliefs and habits and behaviors than the new ones that are going to lead you to the future. Do the work every day. It's not negotiable, because the people who transformed their bodies and their businesses to the highest level first transform their mindset. It's more important than business strategy, sales and marketing, and it's more important than fitness and nutrition. Every single client whose success story I've published has come down to their mindset. As I said, Simon, who went from 33 stone to 15 stone. There's over 50 clients who've lost over 10 stone. There's clients who've gone from bankruptcy, addiction, and out of rehab into running £1 million businesses. But everything came from their mindset, which is why it should always be your number one priority. So as you move through this course, the first thing I want you to do is let go of any limiting beliefs, because they're not true. Trust me, you can achieve anything you want if you're willing to put your mind to it and do the work. Because my grandfather told me. You'll see that in my planner. Okay? That man didn't tell lies. And I've lived by that mantra ever since he told me. And things aren't working out too bad. Now I consistently apply that. Because if you think there's something you can't achieve, that is bullshit. That is a subconscious lie your mind is telling you to keep yourself safe and avoid the discomfort of doing the work. So let go of that and open your eyes to the compelling vision of the future that I want for every single one of you. I want this to be the most life-changing 52 weeks of your life. I don't want you to even recognize yourself in body or business. And as long as you watch each video, you make the notes, you answer the questions, you know my line. Questions are the steering wheel of the mind. If you want a better life, ask better questions. It's why every training has member questions. Information without implementation is pointless. It's why every training has action steps. I don't do this just to fill the descriptions for fun to make it look good. I do it because it works. And I promise you this course will completely train your life. As I said, it's all killer, no filler. But you have to take action. You have to do the work, because manifestation without action is completely fucking pointless. What's the point in watching this video and then not applying it? Doing this course and then not applying it? Feeling inspired, but then not doing it? Okay? So as we move forward, you are going to take on a new paradigm, and you're also going to take on a new worldview. And you're going to completely transform your body and your business in the next 52 weeks to a level that you never dreamed was possible. But trust me, never-ending information will lead to frustration. Information plus action consistently will lead to transformation. Now, when you change your perspective and your view of yourself, and you realize that you're enough, that you're a straight 10 out of 10 and you can achieve everything that you want, the world will open new doors for you. So get ready for the magic and get ready for the transformation to begin. Next week, we're going to be working on why 3 things will make you more successful in the next 52 weeks than you'd ever imagined in body and business. And those 3 things are knowledge, skills, and mindset. I love you all. I'll see you on the next training. Hoo-yah!